Okay, good morning. Here we are, beginning of July. Sorry I missed you last week. Last week was a bit of a mess up. I broke my ankle 2 weeks ago, last Saturday, and had to miss last week, so I had to get to the doctor. So I'm here, and we are going to do some mobility. Let's get moving, because I promise you, at some point, everybody's going to experience a little bit of a setback. And being more mobile and strong, those things are not mutually exclusive. If you want to start moving better, you've got to maintain your strength to support that movement. So that being said, let's get going. So we're going to start. I want you to sit on your right butt cheek here. Put your right knee down and take your left knee back. And both knees at this position hopefully will be at that 90 degrees. So we call this the 90-90 position. There's a lot of 90-90 positions. We use it in the half kneeling position as well. But let's go ahead and sit 90 position, 90 degrees here, 90 degrees here. Bottom leg, just kind of sitting nice and still. And all we're going to do, right knee down, and let's just go right arm up. And so from right there, we're just trying to open up the side of the body between the right hip and the right rib cage. Take a nice big breath. And then take that right arm down. The next movement is going to be to take the left arm across and just kind of sit into that. So we're sitting into internal rotation on that right hip. Right knee forward, left arm across. You get a little bit of a lat stretch there. So right hand on the ground. We'll go 3 and then come back. And 4 and come back. And then 5 and come back. We're going to repeat that one again, but let's first of all go to the other side. So, left leg, you're sitting on that left butt cheek, right butt cheek off the ground, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. First thing we're going to do is just take that left side, left arm up. Trying to pull the rib cage away from the hips. You might even side bend just a little bit. And you can just feel how the intercostal muscles, the little muscles between the ribs, that they start to kind of come alive for you. Okay, left hand, left knee, left hand is on the ground, right hand reach. And then come back. We got 5 of those reaches. 2, 3, 4, it's good. And 5. Okay, right back to the other side. Keep it moving here. Right knee in front, left knee back, right hand on the ground, left hand is going to reach. Drop it a little bit deeper. Your chest is going to come a little bit closer to the ground now. Good. 3, 4, one more. And 5. Good. Other side. Left knee, left butt cheek, left hand on the ground, right knee at 90 degrees, right hand's going a big reach. 1, 2, 3. Good. 4. And 1 more. And 5. Okay, good. We're going to do some nice big leg drops. So, a little bit of hip rotation. You're going to lay on your back, hands out to the side, right leg up. Grab the back of your hamstring. Now, that's pretty perfect, right? We're going to stay at that 90-degree theme there. You don't have to get it short of 90. So right there, long through your arms, and we're just going to strengthen the position of the foot, which means you're not pointing your toes. Pull your toes towards your shins. Activate that muscle on the front side of the leg, the anterior tibialis or tibialis anterior, depending on who you are. Okay, ready? We're just going to floss through the knee. Get a nice gentle tug on the high hamstring 3, 4, and 5. Now right into the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Back to the hamstring. 1, 2. Don't force anything. You're reaching through your heel here. 3, 4, 5. Right through the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Okay, we're going right to the other side. Again, we just want that femur, that big muscle, that big bone in the leg, to be perpendicular to the ground. So go ahead and grab the back of the hamstring or the back of the leg, and we'll just start working through the heel here. Strong foot position. That means the toes are pulling into the knee. 3. This side's a little different. 4. Got a little broken ankle on that side. And 5. From there, we're going to go through the foot. 1, 2, not bad. 3, 4, and 5. Through the knee. 1, 2, 3. Reach through the heel. 4, and 5. Now through the foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, let's go back to the other leg. Now we're going to take the arms out to the side. Legs are going to come up, and we're just going to let that hip roll away. And we're coming back 5 times. 2, and back. 3, let the whole hip joint, let everything roll over there. 4, one more, and 5. Okay, same thing other side. Let's see how this hip's working. 1. The tightness is way different for me right now too, because I haven't been able to run for 2 weeks. 3, 4, and 5. So I have those, just started getting on the bicycle the middle of last week. Felt great to be able to do that again. Let's go back to the first side for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, and 5. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you all the little magic potions and secret weapons I've been using to heal and get myself back to regular training as quickly as possible. 2, because I definitely feel like I've been really lucky to have access to some pretty special mechanisms. 4, one more, and 5. Okay, good. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is come into that half kneeling position. So the extent of my injury via MRI and X-ray is an avulsion fracture on the fibula, the distal end of the fibula. That's the very end of the fibula. The fibula is not a big weight-bearing bone. It's a shock absorber for the body. So I have been able to do a little bit more walking. I got out of the boot on Wednesday last week, and I'm in a brace now. And obviously I'm using a little bit of KT tape. So I had some pretty significant ligament damage though. Completely tore the anterior talofibular ligament, and then partial of the other 2 significant ligaments in the ankle. Okay, so from right there, we're going 90-90. We're going to actually push your hips back. Keep your chest up. We're going after that high hamstring again. Hips back. From right here, take a look down. Make sure that all your toes are on the ground. 2, we got 5 of these. High hamstring, chest up. Even as you lift your head, you're going to start to feel that tug a little bit more in your hamstring. 4, big toe into the ground. And 5. Same thing other side. That's got a little zinger to it. Zinger. It's kind of nervy. High hamstring when I came out of that. Okay, so set it up. Get the foot nice and secure on the ground. Push the hips back. Lift the chest up. And 1. Hips back, chest up. 2. 3, good, 4, you can tell I'm just a little more careful on this side, 1 more time, and 5. So on that one, your hands were back on your hips. Let's do that again. This time we're gonna add a little bit of thoracic spine mobility along with that. So let's go 3 reps with the hands on the hips, and then we're gonna add the arm reach, okay? So right knee up, everybody get that right knee up. Nice big posture. Push the right hip, both hips back, and then we're ultimately gonna add that left arm there. 1, we're gonna go 3, just like we did before. Toes into the ground, especially that big toe on the right side. 2 and 3. Now, we're gonna start to add that thoracic spine mobility, and we're gonna start rotating into that midline. So right here, you don't want to go way across the midline. You can rotate through your T-spine without actually reaching across your body. So we're going to take that midline of the body, reach straight down there. Right arm will come back a little bit as the left arm comes forward, and that allows us that beautiful rotation. There we go. 2, 3, eyes stay forward. 4, and 1 more, and 5. Okay, good. Let's go 1 more time on the other side. Left foot out in front. Nice big breath. We always want to decompress and pull the ribs off the hips. Push the hips back, and we're going to rotate on the first one right here. 8 reps here. 1, rotate. 2, you're reaching straight ahead. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, good, and 10. Okay, let's go back to the right knee again, right leg up front. And this time, we're actually gonna work that ankle mobility by really pushing the knee over the lead toe. You're gonna end up with a reciprocal stretch of the back hip. And I say stretch because we're gonna hold that for 5 seconds. Okay, just to try and decrease the neural drive in any of the muscles that are inhibiting the ankle or the hip. Right ankle, left hip, okay? So we're gonna push the right knee over the toe. Keep the chest tall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back out of that. We got 2 more of those. Chest up tall. Heel on the ground on the right foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Getting some really nice tension in the back hip. Ready, last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So we don't want to necessarily do that with our entire body weight. That knee position can be a little sketchy for a lot of people. So we're just kind of getting this going. So the whole foot on the ground there, nice big breath. We're going to push that left knee forward over the big toe, which this side doesn't go quite as far as the other. To be expected for me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come right back out of that. So that would, for me, would be a lot of these muscles up in the calf, really working hard not to let my ankle go into a vulnerable position. Body's really, really wise if we let it be. Little bit of knee over the toe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Couple more of those. You can pull that foot back just a little bit maybe. Right hip nice and tight into the midline. Left knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we'll gently come right back out of that. Now mobility is mobility because I can move in and out of it. Flexibility might be I exceed what my brain could actually recover from, if that makes sense. My brain being the one that will move me. 5, 4, 3, no hands, 2, 1, and I can come right back out of that. And we could kind of argue what pulled you out of that. Might be the back hip. Might be that the hip is starting to move a little bit more. So from right here, let's take it into a standing position. And let's go into that 1.5 times shoulder width. Here we're going to go in through 5 founders. So the first thing we're going to do, and these are all from foundation training. I am certified to teach foundation training, so I feel pretty good about how I'm teaching you guys to kind of follow along with this one. All right, so we want to go thumbs on the bottom rib, pinkies on the hip bone. From right there, we're going to drop the hips to the back just a little bit. We're going to breathe out of this first founder. So first founder, we're just going to make it a gentle founder. So soften your knees just a little bit. Your feet are squared up. That means the outside of your feet are parallel, right and left. We've got nice big space. Elbows should be out to the side. Make sure you don't find them here. Make sure you don't find them here. Pretend I'm grabbing your shoulders and pulling them apart. Elbows are wide, hips are back. We're just going to gently bring those hands into that position, which now we have a counterbalance for the hips to push back just a little bit. We're going to go 5 big breaths. Toes are on the ground. Drop your elbows. Keep your hands high, right up in front of your chin. One more big breath. And come right back out of that. Now I'm going to do a very gentle gliding. So we're just going to glide side to side out of that founder. As we come out, we're going to go measuring sticks first, thumbs to bottom rib, pinky on the hip bone, drop the hips to the back. Now we're going to let those arms pull away. So this is just going to be a long wing founder. So from right here, we want to open up the chest, pull the arms away from the ears, push the hips back. Your head should be in a very strong position. Chin back, chest up. Let's go 3 big breaths here. Put tension in through the fingertips. 2 more big breaths. And 1 more. And come right back out of that. And I'm going to step out of that, take some tension out of the body. So the biggest difference between foundation training, well, there's lots of differences, but one of the biggest differences, the way I describe it, would be that foundation training puts tension into the body, and a lot of times with yoga, we're taking tension out of the body. So both have a really nice role in our overall wellness and performance, but I love foundation training because I believe tension to be good. That's why the hands kind of matter. You start to recognize you put tension into your hands, it can put tension and intention into your entire body. Okay, so nice and wide here, square up the outsides of the feet, soft knees. From right here, let's go into our measuring sticks. 1 big breath. Now, this time with the breathing, this will be our 3rd founder. We're going to focus in widening the outside of the back. So I want you to spread out your shoulder blades and get your lats as wide as you can and add air into the back side of the body. Okay, so from right here, head's in a really strong position. Elbows out to the side. We've got our measuring stick. Take 1 big breath. We go into that nice tension-filled position of long wing. And now you're going to scoop from the bottom. Bring your hands right to the front of your chin. Drop your elbows. And we're going to go 3 big breaths into the back of the body. Feel the back of your body, the back of your lungs. And then just come right back out of that. Good. Okay, so now we're going to come into our 4th founder, which is going to be a narrow founder. So I'm going to go shoulder width. Toes are inside of heels. And from right here, we're going to let the knees come into the midline, activate the adductors, hips to the back, and from right there, we're going to scoop the hips back. From right there, elbows low, toes on the ground. You might start feeling this a little bit in your low back as the narrow founder really starts to ask you to open up that SI joint. 5 big breaths. Here we go. Knees are in. Try and get your hands a little bit further from your tailbone. So reach forward and up. Open up your clavicles right here by dropping your elbows. 2 big breaths into your back. And good. That was more intense for me than the wide ones. I don't know about you. All right, let's go into the wide founder and go even wider. So now we're at 2 times shoulder width. Nice wide stance. Square up the outsides of the feet, bend the knees, hips are back. From right here, we're gonna hold the thumbs to the bottom rib, pinkies to the hip bones. Let's go right into that founder. Keep the elbows low, hands high. We're gonna glide to the right and then gently glide to the left. Oh, that's the first time I've done that in a couple of weeks. Here we go, 3. We got 10 glides. Push through your feet. Let your feet push you back. 5, 6, good. 7, starting to wake those hips up. 8, good. 9, we got 1 more. And 10, and good. Hey, everybody that showed up today here live, I really appreciate it when you show up live because I can kind of see how many of you got up early if you're on the West Coast, or if you're in mountain time. It's kind of later in the day if you're in the rest of the world in Europe. But I hope everybody's doing well. Here are my secret weapons. Number 1, I've been taking collagen for almost 3 years, every single day. I personally use Vital Proteins. It melts nicely in my coffee if I do that. It also disintegrates very nicely in Athletic Greens. I'm not sponsored by Athletic Greens, but I do Athletic Greens 6 days out of 7, first thing in the morning before coffee. And I feel like that has a nice amount of vitamin D, which has really helped me get through this injury. This was not predicted. It was an accident. I was training so well, but I needed to up my vitamin D even more to make sure that I'm in a good position with my vitamin D. The third thing that I did was I decreased all sugar immediately after the injury. So I knew that when I'm training, I can handle inflammation maybe a little bit more. But now through this injury, I'm constantly dealing with inflammation. So I decreased my sugar significantly. And I personally will get that a little bit from a cocktail in the afternoons or evenings. And I cut that out completely. So I'm not dealing with that anymore. I also decreased a lot of any of the desserts that I was having or any of the hard candy or anything throughout the day. Decreased sugar immediately. The fourth thing that I did was I asked around in my community to see if anybody had a bone stimulator. And ironically, 3 people came to the table. So if you want something, sometimes you just have to put it out there to the universe and you have to ask for it. So I use a bone stimulator, an Exogen bone stimulator every single day. I also use, I'm going to acupuncture. So acupuncture is helping me relax a little bit. That's been a big positive change, and it's something that I will probably keep doing after this injury too, because it's been really good for my head. The third thing that I'm doing is going to the chiropractor twice a week to make sure that I'm staying in alignment, make sure that he's also using needles around the injury site to support blood flow and healing. He also uses some lasers. So I think that when you have to plan ahead, you have to make as many friends as possible, be good to people along the way, because then they're good to you when you need them the most. And you guys are falling into that category too. So thanks for coming today. Hope you have an amazing week of training. I will be back stronger than ever, but more than anything, I will see you next Monday. Cheers.